Okay, hopefully everything turned out well. I don't know if I can hear myself because I don't have my headphones set up. But, in theory, I can hear myself. If anyone can confirm that, that'd be lovely, but I'm going to believe I can hear myself. Welcome to Devlog 7. We're going to hopefully complete some classes and stuff, but before we start that, if you haven't been following me, I develop plugins. I've been working on my updated plugin generator 2.0, and we are actually getting close to finalizing it. So I was going to do a quick preview of what 2.0 is going to be like. So hey Skepsis, before we begin, let me show you what 1.0 or 1.2.0 I think is the current version. So let me pour that out real quick. Pop out. Okay, that's all over the place. Where's my YouTube? There we go. Okay. So before we begin, there we go. So this is 1.2.0. Big difference is the background colors flipped. So now instead of the purple being like these buttons, it's actually just going to be the background. That's one of the biggest changes that will hopefully distinguish it. Otherwise, it's going to be very similar functionality-wise, but under the hood, it's a totally different ball game. So let's quickly. I haven't added all the plugins. I need to add them. It's a totally new framework and everything. But let's begin with just basic instructions at the top here. We'll explain what the introduction to that plugin is. So for this one, it's just the generator. Then underneath that, you can click here and you'll go to use cases, and it will explain in great detail how to use every part of the plugin, including installing the plugins. Then you can go to tips, which will explain how to various tips for the plugin, stuff I've learned that I don't really need to add into the plugin per se, but you might want to know in development. One such is, hey, you can request any of my plugins, their MV counterpart. I, in theory, should be able to easily port most of them. There's only one that I am 100% certain I can't port, and a bunch that I can port, but because of plugin commands, it's not going to be as user-friendly. And you can request it on the community page. You can go to changes, and that will show you all the change logs. I still need to put in ones for the actual generator itself. Terms of use and credits. That's all for the plugin generator. And you can manually scroll through them, or you can click the quick reference guides to where they are. Okay? Then you can click plugins, and it gives you pretty much the same environment. You can scroll up here to see all the optional things. Some things to make note. Parameters are in a much greater detail than they ever have been. Or not parameters, note tags. Note tags are in a much greater detail than they've ever been. Parameters most likely will be as well. Scripts. All my plugins will now have a script section in case you are writing your own scripts and want to use my plugins, and they describe what the plugin is, its parameters, and what it will return. Tips, again, various tips you get. You get the core functionality, you get the change logs, you get the terms, and all of that. Plugin parameters. I'm still actually coding this part up, but yeah. And then when you're finally done, unlike in the previous one where you had to move it from left to right, this is top to bottom. So when you're done, you can just pop it there, double click it, or whatever, and boom. Then when you're ready to build a plugin, you click the build plugin button right up here. It takes you to the build plugin, which allows you to still view all the plugins, view the overarching one, which I haven't coded up yet, but Hey Ratharoid, I'm just showing 2.0 off real quick. So then you're like, well, I can't download it, it's disabled. Well, there's now a settings tab. Right now there's only settings tabs for the overarching plugin, but in the future there will be setting tags for possible plugin settings, such as setting up, plugin parameters, setting the default ones. So if you're like, hey, I have this great plugin, but I have various settings that aren't the defaults, you can define the defaults now. Or not now, but in the future, you'll be able to define the defaults right in the plugin generator. And that's the defaults for every time you throw it in. You don't have to redefine those. So if we go to the settings, you might get used to this if you go to compile cart. Very similar style. However, all of the properties from previous are in here. And when you set them, the same method of how it defaulted to test, that is going to be defaulted all the time. So if you set this up, refresh the page, spend a month doing stuff, come back here, it'll keep the exact same title and all your settings saved. Plus or minus when your browser resets. Your browser might erase the data, so don't be like secret code here that will never be known to anyone, and if this gets wiped out, I'll forget what I'm doing. Don't put that there. But that's to help you guys. Click download settings, and you get the same traditional blob of code. I'm not going to download that, but that is 2.0. Go back to library and get back to the library, I guess. So any questions you can ask, but that's pretty much the generic version. You'll get the play demo. Sadly, the one I was using didn't have a play demo preset, but eventually that will be added. The scrolling description is going to disappear. It's just going to be the intro at the very top of the help. So, boom. I need to merge this one back in. Thank you. Or else I'll forget where I had it, and I'll be like, where is... Actually, it decided to put it anywhere in my list of tabs. So, back to the game, making the game. Don't need this. This was me trying to do something. Windows, stop. There we go. Okay. So, we left off with the ability to generate classes on class generation. So, what we now need to do is detect if it's a mimic, which Skepsis, I'm still going to make a tutorial on how to use note tags and how to use note tags in your game without a plugin. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've been working on a couple other things and just haven't gotten around to it. Hopefully this weekend. I'm not going to make any promises though. So, for us to get where the mimic is detected, we're going to have to go to the end of every no. Right? Let me think. No, we're going to want to go to no, we want to go to the end of every battle, and oh, thank you, Skepsis. I will, but I do want to get it done because I think it will be important. So, do we want... I guess we can take the code from permadeath. Yeah, we're going to take this bit of code because it's going to do very similar things, but it's not permadeath, so I'm not going to code it up. Or, better yet, we're going to delete the permadeath event, delete that common event. It's going to call this. And in here, we will instead start commenting this stuff. So, where's my tab? I mean, I'm going to show you a a example in here because we're actually going to read through all the party members, find out if they're this should be a script. This should be a plugin script command thing. Yeah, this should be a plugin script command. For now, we'll just do it in my better script, but we'll most likely port it down to my actual plugin for this game, just so I can get pretty colors and other things. But either way, this is permadeath. I think I spelled that wrong, but hey, let's check Git. Git will tell me. We're in the Git. Actually, it won't tell me because I haven't saved. If I hit OK, hit apply. Hit OK, I guess? Oh, hit save. Because, there we go. Now everything's updated. Just so everyone can see what's going on. So, we changed the common events. Somewhere in here it's going to say, yep, where we made changes. And what I want is where I called permadeath. Does it actually not? Oh, no, there it is. That's how I called it. Okay. Everyone, use Git for your projects. It will save you time, effort, keep you a history log, allow you to do multiple things at one time. It's nice. I actually am using multiple things at one time for a hidden, secret, semi-secret project. Me and Lord Valen. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to pronounce the name right. Why does names mess me up? Lord Valinor? I think that's how you pronounce that. We're doing a secret plugin together that's going to take all our life and energy to get, but eventually we'll get it. So, taking that, putting that there, and we're going to do mimic check. And why am I doing this in both of these? Well, so by defining this one loop, if I was to do two different common events, one to check permadeath, one to check the mimic check, and all of that, the loop would loop through the party members multiple times. I want to reduce that. I want to do one game loop where I loop through all the party members, check all their stats, update them if need be, and then I exit out and call it a day. Okay, so the mimic check's going to be something. We're just going to leave it blank for now because I do not recall my work from like a week and a half ago. And sadly, I can't go just hit up. I'm going to have to actually generate some of this data or else I'll spoil the secrets. Don't want to spoil secrets. Okay. Yep, cool. I still need to create a plugin to change that bit of text. But, there you go. So, hopefully one of these guys will mimic. Oop, don't want to do that. It's going to be game, party, members. Give me that. And then let's go to the first one's not going to be mimic. We want dot, actually generate that. X equals X dot meta. Meta not defined for? Nope. I remember this. It's actually going to be do that, get the ID, actor ID. Yep, get the actor ID, and then we're going to need to do data actors. So now that we got the actor ID, we can actually get the actor. And in here, there should be a meta, mimic equals false. So we can then go meta and is mimic false. So we're going to have to do that, but in the script now. This is using my Bedrock script command plugin, which you can get from my plugins in the bottom of the description of this. Works for MZ, and I've heard that somebody somewhere found a way to port MZ plugin commands into MV. Have no clue on what all is required to do that, but that's what I heard. The rumor is that. Which, if that's the case, then it could work in MV as well. But I don't think it's possible unless you write a tool, which maybe somebody did. I'm not going to judge. So we're going to grab this bit of code, and we don't need game members actor ID. We can just go members, get the actor ID, get the data, check, so all that is good. And then we need to go if this is true, if they are a mimic, then we kill them, like all great mimics. Because you don't like mimics. Actually, in my game you don't mind mimics. Mimics aren't the end of the world. I'm just cleaning up some of this spacing that annoys me. I think that's what I need. I heard MV and MZ are almost the same coding-wise. A lot of plugins work for both. Yes, a lot of plugins work, but my Bedrock script plugin is using MZ-specific plugin commands to make this scrollable script, JavaScript evaluator. So I will agree. That's one reason why I'm almost guaranteed that a lot of my plugins can easily be ported to MV or MZ. However, plugin commands require a little bit of coding around it, and this specific plugin command, my script command from my Bedrock script command plugin, you can't do in MV. As far as I know, I haven't. No one shown me a way to bring up this window type in MV because it wasn't made in MV. But if somebody made a tool that allowed them to, and I hear about it, I will definitely port this because I think having an infinite number of lines of scripts for a script call is very nice, especially if you're like pseudo JavaScript developing like I am doing right now. Okay, so I like that. Okay, so if it's a mimic, then we need to regenerate the class, which is gonna be in here. It's gonna this is going to return to us it's going to return if it's still a mimic, which that's fine, we can overwrite that, and it's going to return us the class ID. So we're going to have to do some fancy footwork, but we want this, so this will be the class ID. And we're not going to change the mimic status because the mimic status is going to remain the same. So now the question is, can I easily define the class ID? I know I can define it here when we're actually generating the original actor. I know I can define it here. And we could define it the same way. I could go take the actor ID in the actor ID and paste it back with everything being the same, so same ID, same, all this stuff being the same, except class ID being the new class ID, which I think might be the best case. So we'll just grab this bit of code right here. Hit OK. So that's going to be our new class ID. Grab all of this. Grab my spacing so I can keep a tab-like behavior. There we go. So inside here, spacing for tab-like behavior, extra space for more tabs. There we go. We are going to need to get the actor ID, so that's going to be member dot underscore actor ID, comma, open our object, and we don't need any of this stuff. None of this stuff is needed. We just need the class ID, so we actually can just grab this bit of code, go class ID equals this bit of code. Now we do our tab just for organizational state. Get my single tab out. Boom. And that's that. Because we don't need to change it to be a mimic or any of that stuff. We just need to redefine the class. So close that. And only because we're already using one for this pointless variable, we're going to put one there. What one is just the variable that you want to shove the new class ID in, so that if you're using other bits of my script, you can pour out the actor you just generated. So, is the actor a mimic? If yes, grab that actor, clone it into the actor's space that is already taken up. You change the class ID based on the gen class and set that to 1. And that's at the end of every battle. That doesn't matter if you're at life or not. If you're a mimic, you're constantly shuffling your actor around, which is exactly what we wanted. Mimics shuffle throughout the game. There we go. And then we grab this one, close our if statement to, actually I think we just did that there. So that's closing that if statement, that's closing that if statement, and this is closing our for loop. So in theory, that should be it. So save that. Where is the game? Actually, did we ever work around the class mimic? Placeholder class, but needs to remain empty, so the class, yep, okay. So if you set the name here, the mimic class would break. This is just to make note that we have a mimic class. Cool. So if we play game, we're going to have to check to see if every member in our party is a mimic before we can really do much. But should work. Yep, cool. Yep, cool. Cool, okay. All our party members are generated. Awesome. The first party member is a mimic, or the redhead dude's a mimic. The blonde is a mimic. And all of them are mimics. Awesome. That's like a perfect hit for me. So let's exit. There we go. Go up here and let's have our fight. I don't think I ever actually got the fight readjusted. Oh, dang it. We need to know what classes these people are as well. So before we end this fight, let's go game party dot. Actually, it'd be under here. So instead of mimic, it'd be what class are you? class ID 11. Okay, and then 2 class ID 10, and 3 class ID 9. That's, you gotta love random. Random makes beautiful patterns. Okay. I think I gave him an excessive amount of health. How much health did I give this enemy again? Did I give this enemy an excessive amount of health? Yes, I did. 7,000. Okay, we'll quickly adjust that after this fight, because I do not want to do a billion fights with 7,000 health, but there we go. Okay, so all the classes should have changed. Nope, that's 11, that's 10 still, and that's 3 still. So none of the classes, or that's 9 still. So none of the classes changed, which means we have a problem in our code. Which that's fine. First things first, let's drop this by 1,000, or by like 7. Go to our common event. Where is it? Common event. Go into here. And an easy way to see if our code's working is we just add debugger. And now when it hits that code, we can actually look into that code as it's running and see what the status is. Oop. Okay. One, 2, and 3. Gotta love random. Okay, we got a mirror, a reincarnate, and a human. Okay? But any of them mimics. 1 is a mimic. 2 is not a mimic. And 3 is a mimic. So the mirror is a mimic, and the human's a mimic. So they're not actually mirrors and humans. Okay. So now we just go into a battle. Once we get out of this battle, we should see the mirror and the human be different classes. Okay, so now it's hit our debugger, which that's exactly what we wanted. That means the code's executing. That's always a good sign. And let's step through the debugger. So is actor 1 a mimic? Well, if we go to 1 and go down here to its meta, it has nothing. So yes, there is nothing. That's the hero. So the hero turns into mimics, but why? Let me answer you that question once we get out of this one loop. I'll run through the gameplay, unless Skepsis wants to go off memory of what the gameplay is like. Okay, so 1 is not a mimic, so that's fine. This is 2, which if we go to 2, it is a mimic. Mimic equals true, so that's mimicry. So we go into that, and it actually goes into this. That's good. It's going to add to 2. So actor 2 should change. It's going to generate the new class. Let's step over that. Okay. I forgot it's going to run through all these classes that we have. That's potentially problematic. We might want to actually have a thing that sets up the potential class instead of every time we call it. And oh yeah, unless classes, yep, below, if classes aren't being generated in real time, this should be an outside variable. Yep. And this is why, is it's gonna run this every time, in every class we have. Okay, so that's it generating the number. Now the question is, what is this random int going to be? Can I actually step into random int? I can. Cool. Yeah, it won't tell me. That sucks. So I don't know which one it generated. But in theory, it generated one of them. So that means everything's hitting. But none of the actors are changing, which makes me question what's broken. So, but for the time being, because Wrath had a question, let's turn off this debugger for now. We'll fix it later. For some reason it's not updating the classes. So, the overarching story of my game, in its prototype phase, is you are operating a Genesis ship. A Genesis ship basically is a ship traveling from our home planet to some distant planet thousands of millions of light years away. And in turn, you're going to have multiple generations on this Genesis ship that is going to be shifting. So every one of your party members will eventually die in some fashion or form. For right now, the initial class is actually a mimic class, which means it never is going to actually change anything. But as you adventure, you're going to be able to recruit any NPC you see in the game. And they're going to join your class. I don't need that. I need that. There you go. And when they join your class, it's actually going to generate that NPC actor on the fly. And it's going to give them a unique wisdom level. It's going to give them a unique class, a unique name, all of that immediately. And those are going to be your party members. And as you're adventuring, they're going to become wiser in everything. And they are going to possibly die in battle and all of that. And your objective, one of your core loops, is to constantly have that flow of new party members, because if not, you'll eventually have the leadership of the Genesis ship die, which in most places that don't have some form of leadership, they'll die. So will your heroes turn into mimics? Yes, it's possible that your main hero will die, and the hero that moves up in that position will be a mimic. What is a mimic? Why is that like an okay thing? Well, a mimic class basically is like any other class, basic skills, but they're going to change classes every time you go into battle and anytime you bring them on. So the benefit to them is you're going to be able to hit any of these classes. The downside is you can't guarantee that they'll keep that class between two battles. Okay? Hopefully that answered your question. If not, ask it and we can get into a little bit more detail. My objective now is to figure out why the new actor did not get placed correctly. Which I guess the best place to go is my plugins and check to see the actor cloner. So that's the third one down. Oh, that's Accent Manager, and this should be Accent X. Yeah. So the first variable is the original. Yep, okay. Oh, I think I'm not storing it back. I need to set the actor. I think that's the issue. Yep, set actor to an event, and then I think I had it where when you talk to the event, clone actor to game. Yep. Oh no. Clone actor to game. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. I need a plugin command. I actually need the script to that plugin command, which I can look up, but let's find the plugin command first so I'm not looking through all my plugins. I need to be able to set... Could you do this with a big list of classes? Oh yes, and I'm planning to. Right now I have 10. I'm hoping near the end of this game I get somewhere around 40 classes. Because the other idea is when you first start the game, what I'm thinking is you start as human only, human classes only. And as you play, you might encounter other planets, and you'll pick up those species, those classes, and when you pick up those species, that save file, that index, the global save file, will go, hey, when you start up a new game, you now have these possible classes to generate from. So as you adventure, the more classes you find, the higher variance you have to deal with. Initially, it's all human, so your variance is pretty easy. So now I get what's going on. Yeah, sadly, I'm not far enough in where I can be like, okay, let's do a quick rundown of the game, but eventually I will get there. Change the classes of the actor. Can we just is there just a change class? Because that would be nice. Change class. Look, there's a change class. But I'm certain this is a static value. Can my plugin run it as a dynamic one? That would be nice too. Because then I don't have to actually do an actor clone. I can just go, where is it? Change class of actor with variable. So variable. Ah, dang it. It's still hard-coded. No. No. True. Okay. So that's not going to work as nice. But I'm certain we could actually go to this function, grab the code from my plugin, and actually just run it from there. So let's go do that real quick. So my plugins, it's on the other side, isn't it? Yep. Move that over here. Okay, sure. Okay, and we need my plugins. We want the command that does that. So that'd be Control F. Bring this over here so you guys can see what all is going on. Boom. I can't do fancy stuff like that. So, okay, so we want change the class. This will give us the note tag. And then we want the actual command, which is called that. Find that. This is the command. And I'm actually just calling the game interpreter, which that's nice because we can kind of do very similar functionality there, and then I do a game player refresh. Okay, cool. So cancel all that. Go into my common event, my script command, and we can ignore all of this pretty much. And instead, It'd be nice if tabs worked, if memorizing tabs worked. I gotta go. I gotta get going. I'm going home. Maybe catch you if you're still on. Yep, I'll be on until 6:45 roughly. So I'll catch you back then. Hopefully it doesn't take you a little over an hour, a little under an hour to get home. So hopefully we'll have a mimic system working all properly and stuff. So what we need to do is we need to call the game interpreter. Do I need this? Fine, let's do this. I don't think I need this. I do need this because I'm calling it. Okay, so yeah, game interpreter, call this. Right? Yeah, fine. We'll see what happens at worst. Okay, this is going to be open bracket, close brackets. I need to get that space. Nope, wrong place. Boom. Okay. So the first parameter, and I need a classic tab. So the first parameter is going to be the variable which is storing the actor ID. That's fine. We're storing 1. So that's going to be something along the lines of, or if we're going to store it, might as well store it everywhere. It's going to be something along the lines of game variables dot set value 1 and the value. There we go. So, yep, fine. Yeah, we'll just set it there. In case we need it, I won't change all the other ones to use it. But, just so this command can be happy. Okay. So, we need to give it 1, because that's the game variable ID. Oh, no. This isn't asking for the game variable ID. This is actually asking for the actor ID itself. So we don't need this. Yay! I just need to read. So we can actually just give it the member's ID. There we go. Comma. And just to speed up this development, there we go. Then we just call this. This will give us the actor ID, or the class ID. Which I'm almost certain that's going to be a class ID. And then we copy that. And we need to know if it's going to be the same level, and it will be. That is a true statement. And I think you just spell true like true. Yep, cool. There we go. We don't need any of this anymore. Because now, instead, we will actually call change class, which is command 321. Give it the actor ID we want to change. Give it the class we want to change it to, and make sure we keep the same level. Okay. The question is, does that break everything else? We'll find out. Is it actually gonna? No, it's gonna resize it. Look at the tiny font. Oh wow, that made that look really weird. Okay. That's a bug I'm gonna have to write up on my other thing. That should not have made that look really weird. Okay. Launch. Yep, okay. 1. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to open up the terminal as well. 2, 3, okay. We got, Oh my gosh, there we go. We got a human, a mimic, or a mirror, and a macron. Okay. So we need to open up one of these because we need to check to see if any of these are mimics. Okay, the last two are mimics. Cool. So if we go exit, before we enter, mirror, human, macron. Okay. Look at that! The mimics changed! Woo! Mimics work! Woo woo! I'm gonna take a screenshot of this because I'm wondering if the health changed. Because I have a sneaking suspicion that the health changes depending on the class. And I think we already adjusted Armor Pod to have its health kind of correct. No, it looks like the health remained the same for now. That's fine. It means mimics work though. So the tricky thing about the mimic though, there's no way to tell. You can't tell until you enter a battle with them. Secret mimics. But cool, mimics worked. Awesome. So we don't need to do anything more with the mimics. And we got our permadeath functionality back. That's why I had it as a separate function, in case I wanted to call it out. But we're going to make that a plugin command eventually anyway, so that's fine. Mimics, cross that off the board. We are done with you. Humans, you're too basic to do anything. Reincarnation. At the max level, they reset to 0 XP and 0 wisdom and change to a random class. One-time use unless reincarnated into the same class. Okay. So, we're going to have to go into our common event. Where is the common event? And we're going to have to find, I think here, yep. Because here's where we do reincarnation, or not reincarnation, enlightenment. So this is where we check to see, hey, have you reached the max level? If so, you're re-enlightened to it. But we're going to have to add a case here now to go, if the member actor's class equals 3, where is it? If the actor's class equals 3, then we know that we're dealing with a reincarnation, in which you get the same benefits. However, you get to know if it's a reincarnation at the beginning, which is nice in the sense that you can adjust your skills and all of that training to help them. Okay. We actually are going to go into here because I think, yeah, we did some crazy stuff here, which that's good. Because we're going to do some crazy stuff here too. So, if the actor has reached their max level, then we're going to do something. What are we going to do? We're going to check to see if the actor dot class. I see you have a Nintendo 64 title looping in the lower left. Man, so many hours spent in that game. Yeah, that's my wallpaper. So, you guys get to be entertained by a portion of my wallpaper. It spreads across all 3 of my monitors, so it's a very small sliver of a stretched version of Arcania of Time. So, nice. If the data actor's member actor ID dot class, I'm certain data actor is a dot class. Let's comment this out so I don't guess too much on this and I can look semi-professional. Plus it gives something to look at when I have a very static screen, even though the thing to look at is super small. Okay, we just need to find out what classes people are. Okay. So we can do dot. Woo, we want actor ID. We want that. We want this. Boom. And dot class ID. Dot class ID. And that will be that. And we want is it equal to 3? Actually, what would really be nice, only because we don't know what are we going to have to deal with, 3 dot, or no, yeah, 3 dot includes parse. But if we made this 2, true. The benefit to this is if we eventually add more classes that have this condition, we can do 3, 4, and so on, and it will still return true because it's in the list of classes. I don't think we're going to do it, but for the time being, we can do that. So, end of every real word second or whatever, we're going to check to see if the members actor ID, if the class ID is included in that, then we know we're dealing with a reincarnation. Need to do something special, else that beer is a lot bigger than this guy, but maybe it's not. No, it was. Else, do that, then end. Okay. So we need to do a bunch of things here. One such is we need to, you know what? I think I'm going to add permadeath back. And we're going to add more common events. But then I have to call a common event in a script. And I don't really want to call a common event in a script. No. We're gonna make a proper command for. Nope, that's the wrong guy. Also, we don't want any changes here. We want to make a proper command. Nope, we want order at the end of every battle. We want to make this a proper command. So, actually, we don't need to make this a proper command because this is technically a proper command already. We just need to grab it. Okay. And then in here, we're going to call this proper command. And I need the little tab here. And I know it's harder to read the code when I tab it out all this much, but it helps me, okay. Come on, thank you. Oopsie, that should be true. It helps me process which thing is doing what. So, when the actor ID is 3, we generate a new actor ID or a new class for that actor. Then we need to also set up the there should be a change level. We want to do that to a very specific actor. So I'm gonna actually, I think I have that command also. I think I have all these commands because I was like, actors could be any actor ID. So let's, okay. Change actors level, change actor, maybe not. Change actor's image, image process. Yeah, it looks like I might not have a couple of these parameters. That's first action. That's good and all, but it doesn't look like I have anything that changes the level. Even though, yeah, you can do it right here. Off of, oh, it's already off a variable. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. So we could actually just set this variable and no, we can't. We should properly do it. Okay. So we need to bring up some code. So we're going to go to source. And we're going to go to JS and game objects, right? Yeah, game objects. So right in here, I'm just going to drag all that over here. Okay. We want, it's going to be something along the lines of game interpreter. Actually, no. It's going to call change level. There we go. So change level gets a bunch of parameters. The first parameter is going to be, so this one, this 5-1, no. What is operand value? I want to know what this command is. Okay, so it takes an operation type, and an operand. And they're using it to change the level. So operation type. So operation would be this, right? Operation type, if 0. Okay, so operation type is dictating, is it a constant or is it a operand or a variable? So we want operation type to be 0. Operation is choosing if it's a positive, which is 0, or if it's a negative, which is anything but 0. So we want 0, 0, and then operand is the actual value. Okay. So we want 0, 0, 1 for that parameter. So going back to change level, so we want, just to remind ourselves, we want 0, 0, and 1 in those 3 positions. Now, iterate actor XP. What does this do? So if it is 0, then it is imagining that it's a fixed value. So a fixed one of these, which we could do because we could actually define the actor's class using a fixed value, even though it'd be the same thing as if we used a game variable. So we want 0, and we want the actor's class, and the callback we don't care. So going back to level, we want this to be 0 and the level. No, and the actor ID. Okay? Because this would be, this one is 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. So 0 in the actor ID, and then change actor level 5. 5, I'm guessing, is a Boolean if we should show level up. So this should be false. So when we call this function, we're going to want an array with 0, the actor ID, 0 again, 0 again, 1, that level we're going to set, and false. And that's the parameters we want to give that would change an actor ID level to 1 and not show the level up, which it's not going to care about that anyways, but either way. So cool. So we can actually go into our script here, and instead of calling a plugin command, we can actually just rob this bit of code all the way up to that point. Call it again. We're going to change the command to 361. I'm actually going to label some of these. So this one was to change class, so that I don't forget in the future when I'm looking at this code going, what is this? Change class. And this one's going to be change level to 1. Okay. Then we can start grabbing. Yeah, let's just grab the rest of this. Why not? There we go. So the first value is going to be 0, which we can just hard code that in. Then the member's actor ID, then a 0 again, then a 0 again, then the 1, and then false. And just because it all fits really nicely in one line, we're going to make it nice in one line. So that will change the actor ID we give it to 1. Perfect. Now, the last little bit is going to be changing that XP. Going to be changing that XP to 0. Which, hey look, just above it, change XP. Okay, so this is going to get a bunch of parameters as well. This is the same, that's the same, and the operands, so this is all going to be pretty much the same. The only difference I see is the value might change, the value might go to 0, and I don't know what the false will be. So let's make this 0, just in case we don't need to go back. And that should be that. Now to check, if we go to XP, yep, false is false. Okay. But that's not setting, that's decreasing. Dang it. You know what? I bet there's a... Yeah, there's a change actor. What are we doing? We're gonna, if I go to change actor XP, can I, what does show mean? Show. Yeah, okay, so that's deciding if it's displayed. So if we go member.change XP to 0, it's going to set that XP to 0. So that's what we want. We want to set the XP. Okay. I hope I'm entertaining you guys with watching me shuffle through code like this. So we want to go member, because that's going to be the actual game actor. Change XP to 0 and false. We don't want it to show. There we go. Simple. And is there a set level? Change level. Nice. That's going to do the same thing. Cool. So we can actually do member.change level to 1 false. There we go. So it gets the actor, it goes change the level, make the level 1. I'm going to flip this order just on the off chance the game's going to be like, but you have XP, level up immediately. Because that would be not advantageous to what we're trying to achieve. There we go. And I don't like that deep space, so we're going to shorten these spaces. Actually, we can just do this. I think this needs an extra space. There we go. Okay, so that looks like it's correct. Apply, hit OK. Now you want to hear the bad news, guys? The only way we can test this is if we get a reincarnate who's not a mimic, or if it is a mimic, we keep them a reincarnate, so we don't go into a battle, and we level them up to level 99. But we should, in theory, be able to do that through the plugin command. Or not through the plugin command, but through the script bit. Uh-oh, that doesn't look good. Okay, it just took a little while. Okay. Grab, grab, grab. Just so we can be out of this building in case we need to walk around for a while. Okay. What is our game party members? What does that look like? Okay. We're looking for class ID 3. That's a 6, that's a 9, and that's a 4. That sucks. Can I just go brackets 2 dot class ID? Equals 3. Does that work? Did I just redefine class ID? It looks like it did. Does it actually work in game? Yes, it does. Cool. So, and it's already, actually we'll take the first one, please. Does it actually just, no, it doesn't refresh immediately. There you go. So we're just quickly waste some time, get them some level up. How full are they? Not actually a number. That's problematic. You want a number. But that's fine, we can define that. Right? Right? E. Oh! Whoa! That's interesting. I didn't know it did that. Okay. 3 equals, let's go 2, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Awesome. Cool. And I don't really care about the other one having not a number. Can I actually just speed you up? You need an extra 40,000 or whatever? Well, let's give you 50,000. That'd be 50. 4 zeros. Done. Hey, leveled up. Nice. How about now? You need 46. Okay, we'll give you another 50,000. That'd be 5 0. Okay, you're level 99, and we lost you. Which means something broke. Because it should have checked, and it should have went, hey, your class ID is 3, so do that. So we're gonna I don't want to stick a debugger there. We're going to have to play it careful. But we now know we can start adjusting various parameters willy-nilly. Okay, so let's grab some of you guys. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, nice. One's already that level. Cool. So let's go. Go 4, 9. Okay, so it worked there. What broke? Yeah, it worked there. She's already, like, level 4. Okay, so let's go to class ID equals 3. So it looks like it's not resetting her. Oh no, I know what it is. XP is this weird object. Okay, so what we need to do which means XP is going to reset no matter what class, as soon as we change its class. So like right now she's had 3, 9, but if we were to go, hey, your class ID is 4, I'm sure her level is going to reset, right? No, it's not a number. Yes, that's correct. So I think we are doing it right, because now if she did 3, she immediately reaches level 99, she immediately reincarnates, and she is a tripler, which we've never had before. Or no, tripler was actually 4, and she doesn't have enough experience yet. So yes, we got it working, because if she did reincarnate into a reincarnation, her experience would go down to 0. This would become 0 again, and she would have to climb all the way back up to the top. Awesome! Reincarnation done. Cool. We are flying through this, guys. So, reincarnation done. I'm gonna just make a note here. Or leave that. Nah, I should write done or something. Done making the mechanic. Oh. Okay, and this one I'm done making the mechanic below. Cool. Okay, tripler. Tripler we're not going to get into just yet. We still have to figure out a downside for Citadel. That's fine. Machine. We needed a... I think next... Hey, Wather's Wood! You just missed it. We actually got Reincarnate working too. What Reincarnate does, I'm not going to go through it because it can take a while or a bunch of coding. But it's kind of like a mimic, except it's when you reach... So, I didn't explain this before. If you don't have a person die and they reach level 99, they become enlightened. And when they become enlightened, they basically auto-die, and there's no way to bring them back. Except if they're reincarnated... or the reincarnate class, whatever that name will become, when they die, instead of dying, when they get to level 99, instead of dying completely, they get reset back to 0 in experience and in level, and randomly shuffled a new class, including possibly another reincarnation class. And we just finished up coding that. So... I'm trying to think what I want to code next. I think really what we might need to start coding next, and it's the one that I don't want to code the most, is human. Because human's going to be our balance class. It's going to be our baseline. If you're human, you theoretically should have a decently easy game. All the rest are going to be like, oh, 25% less of human, but twice the attack. Or... Kamikaze is going to be an insane one. I feel like we should give you a level. So you keep your guys instead of losing your party, right? So you never lose your party all at once. Let me jump into that common event real quick. So every 5 seconds, right? Let's see. Every real world second of gameplay, your entire party will get 80 experience every real world second. And then, if your party member, for every one of your party members, if they reach their maximum level, which right now is 99, have a zombie party member. We could. How would that work? A zombie party member. So, if they die... in battle, they fully revive? Would that be a zombie? If you die in battle, you just fully revive, and you basically are guaranteed the 99, the maximum level? Possibly. Tell me if that sounds right to you, Wrath. If it is, we can add that class real quick. Sounds like what you already have. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what classes we have. So we got the human class, which is your generic. Reincarnate, which randomly chooses a new class once you get it to 99, but it can die in battle, so be careful. Triplor, which will triple its damage output if it's greater than the average damage output for the entire game, or it will divide it by 3 if it's more, which that's going to be a fun one to code up. Citadel, which we need to define a downside to. Basically, if you miss your attack, instead of it just being like, oh, you missed it, that sucks, you actually increase the defense. You said reincarnates come back after level 99. Okay, so reincarnates are what you're thinking as a zombie. Yep. So we could actually make reincarnate a zombie species. I'd have to look up real life zombie species. I think real life zombie species are generally what is it? Not fungi and stuff. But yeah, we could make that. It'd be interesting to see what the stats would be. So Citadel, you miss an attack, you get defense. Machine, you keep attacking as long as you're lucky, but your attacks are 50%. Real zombie species. Oh no. Oh yes, we found a planet where they're all zombies. We called it Planet Z. Kamikaze, basically don't go into battle with it, but if you can somehow level it up, keep it a life long enough to level up so you can get skills. It has an additional 2 skills it can pull from, and then you can mentor those skills to other characters. Fido. Basically, as long as you have at least 1 Fido in your party, if you use up an item, it's possible that item won't get used up. Oh yeah, Planet Z would be an awesome action game. Mirror is going to take a little bit to code up, but basically the damage that involves anything with this class, you do the flip. So if you were about to take 10 in damage, you take 1. And if you were about to take 1 in damage, you take 10, and so on. It flips the number. Armor Pod, basically, anytime an ally with less HP than this character with this class will take the blow. So if you have a Kamikaze and an Armor Pod, the Armor Pod will take all the blows until it dies before the Kamikaze takes 1. Right now we're thinking it's going to have 50% more health and 50% more damage. So, really nice tank class. What we'll most likely do is kill the attack a lot. Macron, low HP but current HP is added. Okay, so Macron will have a low max HP, but whenever it deals damage, it actually will deal damage plus whatever its current HP is. Mutant, it regenerates 25% of its HP at the cost of 1 defense every turn until fully healed. I think we were coding up that state. No, we weren't. I think I was thinking of it as a state in the future. It will be a passive state that's pre-applied to it. Basically, it can regen, but at the cost, it loses defense every time it regens. And then either it will be fully healed, or when it hits 0 defense, it can't regen anymore. And Pacifist is the one that was a cool idea. Fun to see how it interacts. But at the start of any battle, it will generate 3 quiz questions based on the enemies, with 2 answers per question, with 3 answers per question. And you answer those questions, and depending on which answer you get most of, if you get full pacifist, the enemy escapes and you'll get escape rewards and battle rewards. If you get scared, you escape with no rewards, and if you get aggression, you give a speed boost to the enemy. and you do the batter as normal. Maybe have a sprite for one that hits, when hit, deal damage back to the enemy. How would that work? So when damage is dealt, we would calculate the damage, then check to see if the target is of this class, and if it is, we would reply. Yeah, we could do that. We'll call it spite for now, unless Wrath of Wood has a good name for this alien species. When dealt damage, deal a small amount dust got in my throat, guys. Is there one that boosts loot? We could have one that boosts loot. Do you have any idea on what you mean by boost loot? Like increase the drop percentage or increase the amount? When dealing damage, deal a small amount of damage. A small amount of damage back to the aggressor. Think of a creature with spikes on its skin. Can we do that already? Is that built into the game? Let's see. Attack speed, skills, equipment, collapse, passive party effects? No. Auto? No. Okay, so we'll have to code that one up a little bit. Hi, Jaden. Let's, booster. We'll call it booster for now. And this one will actually be pretty simple because you can just go in here, go double drop an item effect. We could do that. Yeah, we could do that. I'd have to look up to see, but we'll write it in for a quick second. Drops doubles the drop rate of enemies. The question is downside. And why? Why does this species double the drop rate? And what is the downside? This also needs a downside. So, there you go. So I got 2 more classes. So we already at 15 different species, 15 different cycles that we can go through. It is nearing the end. Even though we didn't do a lot and it'd be hard to show a lot, we added the Mimics class. Are you able to get damage amount the player takes? So, am I able to? Yes. I can code up literally anything you want me to code up. Plus or minus the overall difficulty of the objective. So, like, if you wanted me to make it 3D, that I can code it up. It's just going to take a while. And personally, I think 2D. There's a reason why I like the 2D engine. It's easy sprites. You don't have to worry about 3D modeling or any of that stuff. But yeah, we could code it up where it takes where when it deals damage, when a skill deals damage, it checks to see. We already were coding up Tripler a little bit here. We check to see if it's a specific class and uses that damage in other locations. So this is Tripler for a quick second. If the attacker is 4, which means it's a Tripler, triple the attack by 1,000, or divide it by 3,000, or divide it by 3. What ultimately this will be is if the class is 4 and the average is X equal to the amount of damage about to be dealt, triple that damage, else divided by 3. So, I think we're reaching the end of this stream. If anyone has any last minute questions, I'll give you guys a minute or two to ask. If not, I will end the stream and we can talk Wednesday. Definitely check out my, well, not yet, you can't check out the new one just yet, but you can get all the plugins that are going to be in the new one in the coming weeks, because they're already released, and I'm not adding any new plugins just yet. I'm making a couple modifications to a few, but really this upcoming update is going to be just the generator itself and the core settings stuff. Thanks for streaming. Peace out, dude. Peace out, Wrath of Wood. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. I will catch you guys all Thursday, assuming that I don't get stuck in traffic or stay late or any craziness happens. If everything goes well, I'll see you Thursday. Bye-bye.